So how exactly hard is this fancy new Zelda game? Well...
Fighting these dudes? Oh!
Damn!
Hello everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Inside Breath of the Wild. In episode 10, where we discuss controls, we mention how series veterans will feel a sense of unfamiliarity upon beginning their playthrough. Getting used to the vastly different controls will be a challenge no matter what platform you're playing on, but even then you'll have to prepare to take quite a beating. Most of the gameplay is set in the beginning at the Great Plateau, with enemies consisting mainly of bokoblins. Not the toughest enemies in Zelda history, but they can still put up a fight. People on the internet have complained that the game looks too easy, and we're going to explain why they're wrong. Unfortunately, that won't stop them from talking mess, but what can you do?
When I played the demo at E3, it was certainly not a cakewalk. A bunch of new mechanics I never even imagined being in a Zelda game were thrown at me, like a jump button. I'm sorry, are we playing Zelda 2? What is this? I bring this up because adapting to these new features and control style will determine the difficulty of the game for the first few hours, or minutes if you're lucky. Think of it like becoming a new warrior. Your expertise will improve over time. And sure, the bokoblins can be totally easy to take down. That is until you come across better armed ones. I remember actually losing a fight with one of these blue guys. Probably because I accidentally threw my sword instead of swinging it, but hey, humans are flawed creatures, so piss off.
Let's also not forget about the Guardians. If you were lucky or unlucky enough to encounter a working one in the Great Plateau, it would greet you with a laser that would kill you instantly no matter how full your health is. To be fair though, 3 hearts isn't really that much. And yeah, Joseph is a dumbass for not knowing what an ancient spring was in that jungle analysis video.
Screw you, Andy.
Love you too, buddy. Anyway, this Guardian fight isn't too hard, but you can easily lose your life if you slip up. If the Guardians are that powerful when planted onto the ground, we can't even imagine how difficult they'll be once we fight them on their feet. While the Great Plateau presents a challenge, it's far from stressful considering it's the beginning of the game. Keep in mind though that the E3 demo was deliberately missing some elements that will appear in the final game, including NPCs. This could refer to enemies as well.
In the Let's Play video during the Game Awards, we received a much clearer picture on just how hard Breath of the Wild will be, starting with the most obvious fact.
Great for fighting these dudes?
Oh, holy wow. The amount of hearts lost in that one attack is just baffling. Eiji Aonuma was not messing around with the development of this game. It's one thing for enemies to have powerful attacks, but it's another thing for those attacks to be unpredictable. For starters, these Lizalfos use camouflage to surprise their unlucky victims. Granted, it's not the most convincing, but in a place full of ruined sculptures, it will be more tricky to pick out these bad apples. The Lizalfos don't just have spears and shields at their disposal, they also have a slew of electrical attacks that range from Sphere of Death to lightning projectiles. A fellow commenter stated that this death scene could have to do with the metallic shield Link is carrying, although we have reason to believe it is just the attack's range.
Then there's this ugly dude, a moblin. I know I wouldn't touch him with a 39.5-foot pole.
You're a mean one.
Even though he looks deadly and could probably take Link out in less than 2 hits, Nate kills him almost instantly by kicking him while he's down. Quite frankly, I'm surprised they even showed this in the video, because it looks like the enemy will never defend itself as long as you keep attacking it. I wouldn't worry too much about it though, considering it's a work in progress not due out until March. Right, Nintendo? We're not saying that Breath of the Wild is going to be Dark Souls levels hard, but it's not going to be as easy as other Zelda games. It looks like the team at Nintendo EAD3 are taking cues from Skyward Sword's AI system and putting them in Breath of the Wild for a more immersive fighting experience, and thankfully with no motion controls. Nonetheless, with more intelligent enemy AI that avoid direct threats such as bombs and deal much stronger swipes, Is it then desirable to have only one predetermined relatively high but not Dark Souls hard difficulty setting, which could quickly exclude and put off newcomers and younger players? No. The answer is a resounding no.
Since if we hope Nintendo have learned one thing from other open world games, such as Skyrim, The Witcher 3, or even their own The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, then it is the option to change the game's difficulty whenever or wherever in the game. Yes, the post-game's hero mode is a nice reward in other Zelda games, but with Breath of the Wild being a game changer for the franchise, this reward is seriously not necessary. Since there will, just like with The Witcher, be so many different ways to complete the different quests, dungeons, and boss battles in the game. It is correct that we don't yet know how the quests in-game will be laid out in terms of branching impactful choices, or if failed quests will be failed for good. Though we doubt that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will be as harsh as, for instance, as The Witcher 3 was with failed side quests.
But one thing we didn't think to ask in neither our Dungeons nor Bosses episodes of Inside Breath of the Wild is how the difficulty might be attached to the difference of surprise encounters with powerful foes. Will they break the established generic mold by implementing sophisticated and/or self-aware AI like the Moblin we saw at the Game Awards? If so, then the boss battles at the end of what we believe will be even more challenging dungeons might be on a whole other level, both when it comes to tactics, approach, weapon weaknesses, and punch against Link, who needs nutritious dishes in order to sustain in the wild or inside. Conrad, why did you write this? With that in mind, we will give you the following choice for the first episode of Inside Breath of the Wild in 2017. Do you want us to cover the cooking, food making in the game, or part 2 of weapons and times? Vote by commenting one of the options below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you just saw, then please give a like, share this video, comment to determine the next episode, and most importantly, subscribe to Commonwealth Realm if you are new for more Inside Breath of the Wild, Zelda theories, and Nintendo Switch news. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Macintyre for more Nintendo and Zelda content. Until the next video, this was the Commonwealth Realm, and we will see you, girls and guys, soon.